Well, first off, just tell me, 5,000 episodes, this is such a big deal. How are you feeling and how's the choir feeling?
I think the choir would have the same feeling I have, which is just a sense of gratitude to be here and to be in this place during this time. It's just a function of a coincidence that our service is now, and that those who served for the last 96 years and made this day possible, some of them will not be. So I'm grateful, as I think they are, to be here representing them.
Yeah. You talked about standing on the shoulders of giants, and it's certainly taken so many people to get to this point. How do you feel as you think about all the work that's gone into keeping this broadcast alive for 96 years?
Well, I think it's important to reflect why the program, not why the sponsor has been anxious to do it, but why people have been anxious to receive it. And I think it portrays the uniqueness of the choir and this program. People gain feelings when they listen to the choir that are memorable to them. They don't forget their visit. I had an interview just a few minutes ago where a person said, my parents said they came in 1973 to a rehearsal, and they've talked about it many times. 1973, now I don't want to do the math there, but it's a long time ago, and it's still a prominent memory for them. That's true for most people who attend music and spoken word during our weekly recording sessions. They leave with feelings that are memorable, and it happens to be true for people who casually come upon our program. They leave with feelings that are positive, healing, peaceful. There are not many things that give you that these days, and so I think that's the reason that this program has endured.
Yeah. What's your favorite part about being the president of the choir?
Being able to hear their music on an ongoing basis and hear it close and intimate, and to see what goes into it and what remarkable musicians these people are, and the sacrifice they make and the devotion that they have. It's that combination. These are great people putting forward an enormous sacrifice to perform with an ability that makes them unique. These are all very gifted musicians, but they're terrific people.
You're doing a lot since you've started to take the choir to the world in meaningful ways, adding choir members from around the world, but also visiting different parts of the world. How has that changed the dynamic of the choir and how people are receiving you?
People have really responded warmly to it, not just in the area where we normally live, but around the world. It has created a sense of belonging, I think, to members of the church who live in remote places. When they watch General Conference and they can see somebody in the loft who they either may know or may know that they're from a country, and I've come to understand that at the beginning of conference, the countries are named, and it's become part of General Conference viewing to try to identify members of the choir. And I've had many people tell me that it's been a very meaningful part of seeing the church grow to them.
Yeah. Some other changes, I know you're doing a new podcast and more social media, and then you have a choir member who's beloved as Mustache Guy.
Yeah, that's been hilarious to watch. We're traveling more. We traveled once every 2 years prior to this, and roughly. We now travel 2 times every year. And so we're roughly traveling 4 times as much as we did. And we're seeing larger audiences. It used to be when we would travel, we would go to a lot of smaller concert halls. We're now going to national soccer stadiums. We're using media to, we call it anchor and radiate. So when we went to Peru, for example, we had 34,000 people who saw our concert. But in the 4 countries surrounding that stadium, we had 200 local celebrations, we call them, and we had 82,000 people. And then we had another 60,000 people who watched it online live, and then we had 2.5 million people who were able to access it in some part over the internet. So we're finding ways, using technology and the efforts of choir members, to move our mission throughout the world.
Yeah. When are you coming to Rexburg?
That's a common conversation I have, where I'll have conversations of, when are you coming to Africa? When can we expect you in Central America? What about this? And we would love to go there. We'd love to go everywhere, but we are everywhere, and we're finding ways to come in very personal ways.
Yeah. Well, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Yeah.